and we stood on the sidelines, and a unit goes out to kick a field goal, and hear the special teams coach say, make sure you protect. First thing, protect. And here they give up a block.
Yeah, especially in a tight game like this, tied second half. This is when execution is so key.
They go over everything in the huddle. The last thing you're going to hear everywhere, make sure you protect. That didn't get done.
So now a chance for points in the opposite direction after the blocked field goal.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Here's Jackson. His throw incomplete. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
Throwing now is Jackson. Being chased out left. The quick feet by Jackson. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards.
How many times have we seen this late in the fourth quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
We got three. Now let's go.
Jackson to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now Jackson. Oh, no, he lost the football. And it looks like Steeler football. It is.
Well, Parker, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain there as he kept it himself at second down. Now the Steelers hustling up to the line of scrimmage. Here's Roethlisberger. Over the middle, complete. It's Brown. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Roethlisberger hooking up with Brown to get the Steelers a first. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now it's Connor. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards. Back to the 33. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. Again, it's Connor, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. So this is certainly a tough test here in the early career of the rookie kicker. This will be from 53 for the win. And that is no good. And a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the 4th. So it was a golden chance to go ahead here in the final moments, but he misses for a second time in this game.
Brandon, either one of those go, and they might be on their way to a victory. Instead, they're going to have to hold on here defensively just to force overtime.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. Jackson out to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. And we've got free football. 4 quarters done, and we're dead even. We'll have overtime after this timeout. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Steelers' offense now, they head back onto the field. Set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. They go play action here on first down. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Terrell Suggs in there to get him for his second sack of the night.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. And now third and very long. Are you cautious here?
I think you have to be, because the first mantra of any football game is don't lose it. Then you give yourself a chance to win it. And if you go ahead and force something now, take a big shot that doesn't pay off, you didn't help your defense out at all.
Yeah, especially here in overtime. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Backed up deep in their own territory. They were in search of a cushion, and the cushion was found.
And you have to think total game, even in overtime. As a head coach, field position still counts in this spot. So they had to get out from the shadow of their own goal line, get themselves some breathing room. Obviously, that helps them on offense, but it may help their defense, too. It might be necessary here in OT.
And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
On second down, Roethlisberger. Oh, he almost had it. Would have been a big interception here in OT. Instead, it'll give him another shot on third down. So third down coming up. And, Charles, I guess the question for me, where does 4 down territory begin possibly?
I guess for me it begins if you have 4th and 5 or less, because you've got to understand your team and know what your play calls are. What do you have that you think you're confident that you can pick up that type of yardage? It might be 4th and 3 for some teams, but I think anything under 4th and 5, they'll think about going for it.
From the gun on third down, it's Roethlisberger. Over the middle, it's caught by Rodgers. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. Roethlisberger finding Rodgers, and the Steelers convert on third down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. A little too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
He really turned it loose, didn't he? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Here's counter. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. He gets it to Brown, complete. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another 1st down. So he hooked up with a veteran there, and in overtime, that's not a bad idea. Go with the age and the experience.
Yeah, because sometimes the young guys, they give you the fresh legs and give you all that bounce. But in this type of a situation, sometimes those legs slow down a little bit as the enormity of the moment overwhelms them. The veteran guys, they tend to come through.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. And McDonald here over the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Counter. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Steeler 1st down on the pickup of 11 yards.
The reason that counter or misdirection plays work so well is that usually you've given them a reason to think that everything's going to the direction it starts initially. You've run that type of a play throughout the game. You've given them that look, and now you're going to counter things and bring it back the other way. Almost a tendency breaker at times. And a lot of it is making sure that you have an illusion, almost like a magician. Look over here. But the play is actually happening over there, and that's where a running back's vision comes into play. See the hole in a place where people don't expect and get there with some speed. And that's exactly what he did on that play.
They run with counter. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches. And now the Ravens are going to take another timeout. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. And his kick is indeed good. And they will take the lead at 13-10. Now remember, this one is not over. But with the time running short here in this overtime, that could very well be the game winner.
Yeah, remember now, the other team does get a possession. But when the clock runs out, that's it. So that was a well-calculated drive to use up the majority of the clock and leave your opponent with little to no time left.
The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. A field goal would push it to sudden death. We just saw the field goal on the other end, but I don't think they are thinking field goal. At least not to start this drive. They're not thinking field goal.
Not at all, because your point is well taken. Yeah, kick the field goal, you push it to sudden death, but you're also kicking off and giving the other team the ball with a chance to kick a field goal and beat you. Get the touchdown, finish the game off. That has to be the mindset.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Defense.
In overtime, you have to be smarter than that.
A personal foul just can't happen. Have to have poise.
A big connection on that one. 38 yards. First throw in overtime now for Jackson. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. They'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted, but how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis.